Okay, so in this video, we are going to be covering the early check-in process. Um, Oftentimes we do have guests that will ask if they're able to check in earlier than our standard 3 o'clock p.m. check-in time, and we always like to do our best to accommodate guests' needs. However, it's not always the most simple. So let's go ahead and start out with an example here. This is a guest, Daryl, who asked on the day of his check-in if they were able to check in early. So at 8:53 a.m., Daryl wrote, "Hi Christian, we are on our way in from Dallas. We usually arrive around noon. Is it possible to check in when we arrive, or do we need to wait until after 3 o'clock?" Now, our VA went ahead and sent this message, which is generally okay, but we actually already have a pre-written response and that you can send when guests ask this question. This is on our FAQ Google sheet here, and you will see that I actually have two different scenarios. So we have an early check-in for current day of guest, such as Daryl. Then we also have another option here, which I'll be going over in just a bit. So if we look here at the early check-in, current day of guest, let's look at this response. So it says here, unfortunately, I can't guarantee an early check-in. However, in the chance that it becomes ready before the standard check-in time of 3 o'clock p.m., I'd be happy to send you a message to notify you it's ready early. The reason we cannot guarantee early check-ins are because of multiple factors. It depends on if we have a guest that is at the property and will be checking out. It depends on if there's any situations that our cleaning personnel may run into that require additional cleaning, and all of that stuff. So go ahead, if they ask day of for an early check-in, you'll just copy and paste that message, send it their way. The next thing that you will immediately do is to get in contact with our cleaning team, Matthew and Lexi. You will ask them to put priority on that specific Airbnb unit and ask them if they can go ahead and clean that one first before any other units. You will ask them to do so because the guest that is checking in is requesting an early check-in. And you'll just simply ask Matthew and Lexi to send you a text message when they have completed cleaning the unit and that it is all good to go for the next guest. Once you receive that confirmation, you can go ahead and message the Airbnb guests through the Airbnb app that the place is all set and ready for them and they are free to check in at any time that day. You will also be given access to our security cameras, which are all on the exterior of our properties. This will allow you to kind of keep tabs on when guests are checking in, when guests are have already checked out, when the cleaning personnel have arrived, or when they're finished with the cleaning. So that will just kind of act as a secondary check for you. So that is the process of what you'll do for a guest that is requesting early check-in day of. And you will see here on our example with Daryl that we did go ahead and tell him at 2:22 p.m. Hi Daryl, the place is all set, so feel free to check in at any time. That is a simple little message that you will send to the guest when they are ready to check in. Easy peasy. Now our other example here is for guests that have already confirmed a reservation with us, but perhaps they booked it 2 weeks in advance, and 2 weeks in advance they're already asking for an early check-in. So this is the message that you will be sending to the guests that are already booked, but they are not checking in on that day. The message says, unfortunately, I can't guarantee any earlier than 3 o'clock p.m. for check-in. However, please remind me on the day of your arrival that you're hoping to check in early, and I'll do my best to accommodate you. This way, that puts the responsibility on the guest to remember to message us that they are wanting to check in on the day of. So once they message you on the day of that they're wanting an early check-in, you'll simply repeat the steps that we just went through for a current day of guest check-in. You will send them the pre-written response for a current day of check-in. That again says, unfortunately, I can't guarantee an early check-in. However, in the chance that it becomes ready before the standard check-in time of 3:00 p.m., I'd be happy to send you a message to notify you it's ready early. And I'm realizing that I'm missing a word in here, so I'll fix that. And then after you send that message, you will go ahead and text Matthew and Lexi, your cleaning team, to ask them to clean that Airbnb first and to notify you when they are finished cleaning the Airbnb so that you may communicate to the guest that they're able to check in early. So that is the situation. If there's ever a time where the guest, it's not going to be ready any earlier, perhaps the cleaning personnel wasn't able to get to the Airbnb early, maybe it was an extra dirty Airbnb, and so it took the cleaning personnel extra long to prepare it. We've already told the guests that we can't guarantee an early check-in and that there is a possibility they won't be able to check in until 3:00 p.m. And that's absolutely fine. We just want to do our best to accommodate or make them feel as if we are going the extra mile to accommodate their needs. And as long as we're communicating well with them and making sure that we're not giving them promises we're unable to fulfill, and they'll be good. And these messages that I've pre-written and the early check-in process will hopefully take care of all of that. So that is the early check-in process.